Let's see, Mary, I saw you. Are you going to play for us today?
I'm back. I have coffee cake in the oven, so my buzzer went off.
I understand.
By the way, I won't be, well, I'm going to try to tap into the meeting next week, but we'll be in Michigan on the road, so I won't be able to play happy birthday
Okay.
and whatever.
Thanks.
Just giving you a heads up. You ready?
Ready. Thanks, Mary.
Boomer sooner kind of sadly today.
Okay, for our invocation, we have Scott Mullins.
If you'd all bow your heads, please. Lord, please be with us as we get through this environment. There have been so many people that were hurting before this COVID crisis happened who are hurting even more now. I pray that you give them what they need, help them emotionally. And as we are going through such a politically charged climate right now, help the people that are running for office and people who are in office to understand that it's not about them. It's about other people. And I know that regardless of political affiliation, I know that you can work through them to do what is your will. Thank you for everything that you do for us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Scott. All right, April Heifel has the Pledge of Allegiance and the four-way test.
All right, if you can join me in saluting our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? And will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thanks, April. Okay, let's start off with recognizing the guests we have on the Zoom meeting today. We have Driana Adkins, and Driana is actually, we have Rotary information this Thursday, so she will soon be a member, join our club. So welcome, Driana. And we also have Lisa Burkhart from the Operation School Bell, and she'll make an announcement here in a second. So are there any other guests on the phone, on the Zoom? Okay, do we have any happy dollars?
Jonna, I've got 5. My first happy dollar is that Lewis got to go to the Arkansas football game and see, even though they lost, he was excited to see a real life football game in person.
Yay.
The second dollar is I did a virtual wine tasting on Saturday, and they had a fun Hawaiian luau theme, and they were giving away prizes for a number of things, and I won a $300 bottle of wine for being best dressed.
Wow.
My third dollar is that I got my gas stove installed, cooktops installed on Friday. Hallelujah. And my Baylor Bears won. That's dollar number 4. And my final dollar is I want you all to come see me and buy some Farmer's Daughter jams on Sunday, October 18th at Farm Girl Fair from 11 to 5.
Great, thank you. Any other happy dollars? I have 2 happy dollars. We got to see our granddaughter this weekend. My husband and I went just for the day and to Tulsa, and we got a hotel room so we could take her swimming. She just turned 8 months old, so she's she's able to crawl very quickly now and starting to stand up, and she's just a lot of fun.
I have a happy dollar as well. My stepdad has been ill with pneumonia, and fortunately it's not COVID, but he was hospitalized last weekend. He got home last night. So my mom is thrilled because she's home, and my stepdad's on the mend. So I'm very happy for both of them.
Anybody else? Okay, we'll move on to announcements. This Saturday, we are going to be painting at Food and Shelter, 8 o'clock in the morning. And thank you, Jane, for organizing that. Jane, do you want to tell them about how they can participate if they're not painting?
Yes. Food and Shelter is in need of laundry material, laundry supplies, laundry detergent, fabric softener, that type of thing. As well as shower supplies, and they prefer liquid soaps because they have those dispensers in the shower, because as you might imagine, in a communal shower, bars are not very sanitary, as well as towels and washcloths, gently used ones of those because they walk off with some of the people that are using the showers there. So you can drop those supplies off at Food and Shelter, or you can drop them off at Christy Moore's office at the Community Services Building. My office, which is the Norman Public Schools main office on Flood, or John and Buck's office at OEC. Or if you prefer to order online, such as through Amazon or Walmart.com or something like that, they will happily ship them to Food and Shelter for you. So that's there. And for those of you who've graciously agreed to paint, I will bring coffee and to get us started in the morning. So we look forward to seeing those volunteers Saturday morning, bright and early.
Great, thanks, Jane.
Jane?
That is part of our district grant that we received back in May or June for this Rotary year. And so they went in and did tile work around the showers to help stop damage on the walls. And there was 2 washers and 2 dryers that were in disrepair that have now been replaced. And April, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I remember you saying that there are 60 people a day that use that shower, those showers. So a great need.
Jane, thanks for coordinating this, and everybody that worked on the grant. For anybody that wants to have stuff shipped there, the address is 201 South Reed, and I believe it's 73071.
Thanks for that, Mary.
I'm going to write it in the chat.
Okay, thanks. We also have, also on the 18th, in addition to the Farm Girl Fair, there's also the Crop Walk. I think you have time to do both because the Crop Walk is just only a 2-mile walk. And we've got a small team so far, but it's set up so we can social distance. We're given a time slot of 2:45. So you've got plenty of time to go to the Farm Girl Fair and then go walk. And so please sign up for that. And then next we have some announcements from Lisa Burkhart from Operation School Bell.
Good morning, everyone. I did visit with Bill just a couple days ago and reaching out to you guys to see if possibly we could have some volunteers come in and help clothe the children. We actually start Little Acts first because they stayed in school longer. Norman went virtual for a little bit, which set us back. Norman Public Schools will start on October 15th and go through November 20th. And I didn't put that on the list just because right now our needs are to clothe Little Acts. On the slide, we do have the times, which is from 9 to 12:30. And then the dates that you could come in and clothe the children. And then we have high schools coming in on Tuesday nights. So those are the nights for high school. And high school, we start at 3:30 and we go to 7:30. And then we will add in Norman High again, like I said, on October 14th through the 20th. We just have to make sure that one, they stay in school, the buses can get them there, the counselors can help with getting the kids there. So we will meet again with Sharon Heatley one more time before October 14th. And then with high school, we are having a pop-up shop, and this enables us to get the kids a little bit extra more than, they get the new clothes in the store and then they get some gently worn. But if all possible, what our needs are is if you could clean out your older kids' closets and then donate their gently worn items and shoes. Those are in addition to the new clothes that they get. So we always try to get them at least 5 days worth of clothes. So between the new clothes that they get and the gently worn, it helps them out. We're looking for small size detergent, new toothbrushes, travel soaps, lotions, bath and body, little bath and body giveaway things that you have, travel makeup bags for the girls. Sometimes you get things from Estee Lauder or whatever that have like the little travel size or the little perfumes, things like that. And then sanitary napkins and pads, which I want to thank Mary Sally. She is going to have a donation for us for that. So give a big shout out to Mary for helping us on that. And then the pop-up shop will be October 27th. But we would love to have you guys in. We do need volunteers to come in and help us clothe the children. It's very, very, very rewarding. The kids love it, love, love, love it. And we would just, we're reaching out just to see if we can help you guys help us out. So thank you for everything.
And thanks, Lisa. And I called Lisa last night just to verify the place that you go to volunteer is actually at their location on Wall Street.
Yes.
So even though we're clothing Little Axe students, it's right here in Norman. And also Lisa said that if you do want to donate items there's not someone at the location all the time. So she would prefer if you call her and she can arrange to have somebody meet you to drop off the items you want to donate.
Yeah.
Do you want to add anything else, Lisa?
I don't. Thank you so much for allowing me to come in this morning. And like I said, it would make our heart happy if you guys could come help us out. We would love to have you.
One more question, Lisa, on the different dates and volunteer times. Do you want people to contact you and sign up for specific times, or
Yes,
just show up?
that would make it a lot easier. Then we can get you on the schedule, and then that way I'll know how many people are coming in. Sometimes we give a little bit of extra to the volunteers coming in, a little tour, so they see kind of, we help them with the iPads, and that helps us keep our inventory straight. So yeah, if you could, that would be perfect.
Okay, thanks, Lisa.
All right, thank you for letting me come in. And
You bet.
all right, thank you.
Sandra asked to remind us where to bring donations. Sandra, are you talking about for Operation School Bell? What's the address on Wall Street? Oops. You're on mute, Lisa.
Okay. Yes, 804.
And that's the Assistance League, correct?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it's in
Okay.
the Assistance League building.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, on to our speaker today, our own Marles Bradley. Give me just 1 second and let me.
Hey, Jonna.
Yes,
Hi, this is Dick Pryor. Could I have just a second for a quick announcement?
absolutely.
Thank you. Public service announcement for those of you who are wanting to exercise your right to vote by mail. I interviewed the election board secretary, the state election board secretary on Friday, and he wanted us to do everything we can to get this information out to people. And it's a couple of things. One is that you have until October 9th to register or change your registration. October 9th is the deadline for that. And those people that are wanting to vote by mail need to request their ballot as soon as possible. The state law provides that you can request a mail-in absentee ballot as late as the Tuesday before the election, which is October 27th. But he said, if you wait until then to request a ballot, you won't get it in time and your vote obviously will not count. So doing some math, it looks like the time for everyone to request an absentee ballot, if you have not already done so, is about October 17th, because it takes a few days for them to process the ballots and get them in the mail. And they're asking that everyone mail in their ballot at least 1 week before the election, which is November 3rd. If there's more information necessary, you can go to the State Election Board website. You can also go to the KGOU website and look under News, Capital Insider. We have that interview and the text of the interview with more information.
Great. That's great information. Thanks, Dick.
You bet.
I mailed my ballot Friday.
And you can track it. You can track the process all along and the progress of your ballot on the OK Voter portal, which is located on the State Election Board website.
That's very helpful because all the news we've had lately has given me a lot of doubts about whether my vote will make it in. And so that's good information.
One quick thing that he did say is that in urban areas, that is the higher population counties of Oklahoma, Tulsa, Cleveland, and a couple of others, it's taking a lot longer for them to get the ballots out. And they're expecting such a huge volume of mail-in ballots. They're just overwhelmed right now. So the quicker you can get it in is definitely the better. 2 years ago, Oklahoma set the record for the most number of absentee mail-in ballots requested, 120,000. So far, as of Friday in Oklahoma, there have been 237,000 requested.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Just
Marles?
to build to kind of my own personal experience with what Dick was saying about the time frame. I had requested a mail-in ballot and I hadn't received it. So I went to the OK Voter portal. It was mailed on September 18th to me. I received it yesterday. So it took 10 days for it to get from the Cleveland County Election Board to my house here in Norman. So if you haven't done so already, you need to get that done.
Good
So
point.
thanks, Dick. Sorry about that. So.
Thank you, Jane.
You bet. Thanks.
There was also on the news last night, and I think it was just a one-time thing, about some lady in Moore that mailed hers in, and it got electronically processed wrong with the zip code, and so it came back into her mailbox as undeliverable, even though, and it was Cleveland County. But anyway, then she hand-delivered it, and I think that was just a real faux pas on the part of the post office, that the electronic code they entered was some other zip code, and then it became undeliverable.
I know one other person who got the return ballot, the return envelope for your ballot, and the return envelope did not have an address to the election board on it. She mailed it without noticing that. Of course, it came back undeliverable because there was no address printed on the outside of the envelope, which is supposed to be pre-printed. So
Wow.
watch that too.
Okay, Marles, if you want to share your screen.
I will.
I'll give them your bio if that's okay.
Sure.
Marles is a retired teacher for the deaf and hard of hearing students from Moore Norman Technology Center. I did not know that. She followed in her father's footsteps to become a Rotarian when she joined Sooner Rotary in 1997. She and her husband, Tony, provided a family connection for international students at OU for years through the Friends to the International Students Organization. Through those contacts, she became involved with Norman's sister city organization and has served as the president of the group, now called Passports. Today, Marles is going to share the exciting history of Norman's international friendships and tell us of future opportunities we can be involved in the global aspects of Norman. So thank you, Marles.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. As was pointed out to me, evidently, I'm still on the website for the Lions Club presentation I did about the sister city organization from a long time back. But I guess that was January. It's hard to think that far behind all this hullabaloo we've been in these days. But I'm very happy to have this opportunity to tell you about Norman's Sister City organization, which is now called Passports. It began as an organization called Norman Society for International Affairs, and they called it NSIA for short. But somehow when I became active with it, the group was kind of searching for something a little more contemporary, because the Norman Society for International Affairs sounded like a bad James Bond movie or something. So after a large discussion, we came up with something that represented travel and connections around the world, and Passports is our name. The organization Sister Cities International was created in the United States by Dwight D. Eisenhower. There's a typo, sorry. And it has a national membership organization for sister cities, counties, and states across the U.S. Are you all aware that Oklahoma has some sister states? And one of those is Kyoto Prefecture in Japan. So when we talk about our sister city in Japan, it is also part of that sister state relationship that Oklahoma has. This organization unites tens of thousands of citizen diplomats and volunteers with communities and partnerships in more than 140 countries. Mission is to promote peace through mutual respect, understanding, cooperation, one individual at a time, one community at a time. And I'm going to try to go to this live link, but no, it won't go. I don't know, my computer is not cooperating on the live links. I'll find something later and show you something. Anyway, please look up the Sister City organization. This international group has a lot of interesting information, and they sponsor young artists competition between students from all over the world. And in order for us to participate in that, we would have a student from our community paired with a student from one of our sister city communities, and they would be entering that contest. And there are other opportunities too. The reason that OU has influenced Norman, obviously, with all of their international connections and students from all over, has identified really are you all aware? If we were in a group, I'd have a prize for someone who knows how many sister cities Norman has. Anybody shout it out? Well, you're right, we have 4. So there are 4 sister cities. Clermont-Ferrand was the first one that was identified. Sorry, my clock in the background. In 1994, and the university just has a long history with the exchange programs with the university there, which is now called, Auvergne. I've forgotten the new name of the university there. They've changed it. It was Blaise Pascal's name, and Clermont-Auvergne, University of Clermont-Auvergne. And we had recently a group from Norman that actually traveled there to celebrate the 25th anniversary. They were there in December to celebrate the 25th anniversary of our sister city relationship there. And a lot of our connection with Clermont is related to the university. I don't think any of these live links will work. No, for some reason, my computer's not cooperating. But let me see if I can get to, I wanted to show you, let's see. Let me see if I can show you. It's not on the right screen. Here we go. You can of course go to the websites for all of our sister cities, but that's the one for Clermont-Ferrand. And I believe it doesn't have a translation on it. So you would be reading in French, but still it has a lot of interesting things. And there's a live cam, a webcam that I was looking at earlier that is really interesting. So I suggest that you, let me get to that you try to look up some of those. Let me move that out of the way and go back to the slideshow. My technology's being awkward today. The second sister city that was established was Colima, Mexico. And at that time, the University of Oklahoma actually owned a hacienda there that they were able to use easily with their exchange programs. And some of you may have been associated with that somewhat. Our Rotary connection to Colima is the Project Amigo is in Colima state, the state of Colima, not actually inside the city of Colima, which is our sister city, but it's close to there. And we have an ongoing relationship with them because of the Rotary program. And we, a few years back, did I believe it was a library project to help with the books. Actually, Sooner Rotary did that, helping with books associated with the Project Amigo. And they are at a volcanic area. Actually, I guess 3 of our sister cities are in volcanic areas. That's not a problem we'll have here, but most of them don't have tornadoes, I would say. And I have links, but they're not going to cooperate for me. I apologize. The third one, Seca, was mainly, it's the one place that doesn't have a university that is connected with OU, but we were particularly encouraged to become sister cities with Seika because it was the hometown of Dr. Yoshi Sasaki, who was the founder of the OU School of Meteorology. And this is particularly interesting to me. My son was an exchange student in Japan, and within our organization, we have liaisons to each of the sister cities. And I currently am the liaison for the sister city, Seika. They have a very interesting situation where they, within the municipal offices, have an inbound for, I believe, 2 years, kind of a position for someone who comes in like an intern, and that intern is responsible for the international relationships. And I'm going to see if I can pull up that one, because that is of interest to see. I'm sorry, the links are not cooperating. Where's Seika? He creates a newsletter, and it's published monthly. And at the top of their website, they have a choice to choose your language. And this newsletter is actually, their English language newsletter. A lot of the people in Japan are interested in practicing their English, and there are a lot of transplants of people there who English is their native language. And this particular, let's see, this one was February, and I'll slide down to the bottom. And about the last article is always his sister city news, which talks about Norman. And this time you'll see that he's talking about the Sooner Theater. When we got the new library open, it was featured in this newsletter. And the intern who has this position does a really good job of covering information. Of course, his more recent things, he provides city resource information for people, and this is a quick list of people of learning if you want to learn some Japanese there. But you could find this by going to the website, the Facebook that we have for passports, the sister city organization. Oh, now I've changed that. Okay, I want that up there. And it's gone backwards. We've done Kalima, we've done Seika. Although they don't have a university actually there that OU exchanges with, they have a big science center. It's a little bit like our research corridor that is a part of Norman, that they have this large science center area. But that's kind of a park that's associated with it that's really interesting in its design. The fourth sister city, and I had the privilege at the time I was the president then, and had the privilege to go when the two cities were essentially dating before the arrangement was formally set up to be a sister cities. We were exploring each other. And I went with a delegation to Arezzo, which is a beautiful area just a little bit south of Florence in Tuscany there. And their big activity, and I highly recommend it as a vacation travel when we can again, is twice a year they have a medieval festival with jousting. And you'll see, I think I can run a video here and show you, but they joust to a target that is like a knight holding a shield, and there's an electronic scoring to where the lance hits from the rider, which gives them their points. But in advent to the actual jousting, there's a huge flag ceremony. And I don't know if some of you remember, you see it in movies sometimes, but Under the Tuscan Sun, I believe, was one at the beginning that showed this big elaborate flag ceremony where they throw the flags, they trade sides and throw the flags back and forth. It was really beautiful and well rehearsed that they did that so well. And let me show you, they've got, oh, I see, it's under here. Okay. Oh, sorry, I can't stop it. Get out of here. There. Arezzo is very much like Norman. The sister city organization tries to match you well with a city that's similar, and of course Norman gets matched to university towns, which is to our advantage, because then we do have a lot in common. The one advantage we've run into since we've had our virtual meetings is that the last meeting that we had back in June involved, the presentation was actually from a representative in Arezzo who spoke to our group in a Zoom meeting and shared what was going on with the city, new plans, and of course how they were handling COVID. Italy was hit hard at first, and that became a problem for all of the exchange programs that they're still dealing with to try to work that out. But of the 4 sister cities, obviously I've been to this one, so I'm prejudiced probably, but it really is a lovely place, and not the 30-minute drive maybe from Florence down south, and a town where you would be safe to walk around like Norman any time of the night if you wanted to go get ice cream in the night, which I did a lot. So oh no, I went too far. That I took that photo of it wasn't the real joust, it was the practice the night before, but it was still a really exciting time, and was an interesting thing to see. If you're planning to go there, if you can travel at the time of this celebration that they do once in the early summer and then once in the early fall. But this year, of course, with COVID, it was canceled. They have not had it this year, but I'm sure we'll return to it as soon as we can. The opportunities that you could have, and I know you all are thinking, it's an organization that doesn't require a lot of time, only as much as you would like to do. But what we ordinarily do is plan a reception or a tour or some kind of connection when the mayor's office, generally some municipal office, is contacted that an international visitor is coming. And it's not just for the sister cities, it's any international contact that's coming to Norman. We are the citizen volunteers who help out with whatever that contact is wanting. If they want a connection to some similar industry or business, we've had people from the energy sector come and coordinate with different people, different businesses in Norman. Normally it's a cultural or educational exchange. We have hosted, over the last decade, my dog, sorry, over the last, you saw in the picture, that's my agility dog. Over the last decade, of course, we have hosted art exchanges and programs that tours. The group that was here from France last time, the university had a very stringent schedule for them to tour a lot of different things, including the OU Health Sciences Center and different things around the main campus. And they kind of veered from their schedule because they really wanted to go to the Chickasaw Cultural Center. So I accommodated by providing some transportation and getting those who wanted to down to that. But as volunteers, as a member of the organization, you would be part of the opportunities to help with reception. Sometimes we set up a reception there in the city hall. Sometimes we set one up someplace at, some other location that's permitted. Essentially, you're just serving as a citizen ambassador, which is what the Sister City International organization was intended for. And you could have an opportunity to connect with, if you're particularly interested in one of the 4 sister cities, of course, with the liaisons who are on the other side there. And groups have gone to visit. My family, we had scheduled to go visit to Seika. I have been to Japan, but I've never actually been to Seika. And that was our plan for last April. That has been postponed, of course, but we will in the future. As I said, a large delegation went to Clermont-Ferrand, France, to celebrate the 25-year anniversary of our sister city relationship. And mostly then you can develop new friendships and connections, and your membership is tax deductible. We are now have some different levels so that businesses can become a member of the organization, and would give them a tax deduction for that contribution, but a connection to businesses that perhaps do the same thing in our sister cities that would be a global sharing. When the group that went to France, there were a lot of municipal officers who attended, and they toured some beautiful city facilities that were kind of comparable to what we've been talking about wanting for our senior center or different complexes. There was one that had a big pool and a lot of sports opportunities there. So I have come to the end of the things that I had. Did I share all of the, yes, I think I shared the videos, even though I couldn't get the, live links to work, but let's see, where have I gone now? My slide, I'm open for questions, and I don't know where the slideshow has gone.
Marles, if you'll send me the slideshow, I'll send it out so everyone will have access to those links.
Sure. Well, yes, maybe they'll work. I swear I made them. They were supposed to be live links, but it's not working on my computer this morning, so I don't know what that's about. So
it wouldn't be a weekly Rotary meeting without a technical problem.
Yes. So any questions about the organization? I'd like to get some new members because, again, it doesn't involve a lot of time. We normally don't meet through the summer. We'll be starting up with a visit with someone from Clermont-Ferrand, I believe, in maybe November. In October, I think we're going to visit with someone who's in Tulsa, but he's been part of the Sister City International office. I don't know what office he held, but he's been associated with the international level of it, and we'll be addressing that and the different activities that we have. The Norman Arts Council is working on a photo exhibit coming up that is an exchange for our sister cities to share things that depict their life during this COVID isolation and what's going on in their cities. So that should be of interest. And if we can get back to the Second Friday Art Walk, it would be visible there, but I know that they'll have a way to. Erin has been very active and took an exchange program that depicted Oklahoma to Clermont-Ferrand at the same time that delegation went there. So there are a lot of opportunities, and most of them are social or educational. So I encourage you all to join us.
Marlis, when you all meet via Zoom, well, whenever you meet, when it wasn't COVID, I assume you were still meeting via Zoom, or?
We're meeting via Zoom still, yes.
Right, but like before COVID, how did you meet?
Times we would meet at City Hall in one of the meeting rooms there. That varies. It depends on what the program is and where it is, and that's always announced in advance. Sometimes it's at a restaurant where we can get a meeting room and dine as we meet. So that's flexible and social.
And do the other sister cities usually, do they participate in English?
Actually, most of the liaisons do speak English, so we sometimes will bring in somebody who could interpret, but it's kind of almost selfish of Americans to expect everybody to speak English, but that kind of happens. And as I've traveled around, I've found that almost, as you all have found too, that there are people who speak English everywhere. So, and far better than my French, and I don't speak Japanese at all. So.
Other questions? Jim Costello said that his daughter Whitney did a spring semester in Arezzo with the OU exchange program.
Yes, that's a very active program, and it's been, you know, just sad for everyone that it's been delayed and postponed right now. But I'm sure they will get back as soon as they can, because it was a great exchange program. I'm sure his daughter can attest to that. So
it's funny when you were showing the pictures of Arezzo that it's a city similar to us, and yet it looks so dissimilar in their architecture and their just the way everything's laid out. It's hard for me to wrap my mind around that we are so similar.
Right. We're similar, but the place itself is ancient. I mean, the building that OU owns there, we toured it before that was formal, before they had made the purchase and set up. But we traveled layers down into the ground till we finally got back to like an Etruscan cellar. It was really old. So that's what impresses you about it. So I need to go on to another meeting, but I thank you all for the opportunity to share the information, and I will find a way to transfer the slideshow to you, Jonna, and you can make it available to everyone who missed out today, or if you'd like to go back and you could print that membership form from the last page too. So.
Okay, well, thank you very much. This is very fascinating.
Yeah, well, it's a time we'd all love to be traveling, so you can make your plans now.
Right.
Hey, John.
Right. Yes.
I was just going to say, my daughter Laura went to Clermont-Ferrand on an OU exchange and was there for some classes and had a wonderful time. And of course, I got tickled. One of her classes was, believe this or not, because she was an international business major, and it was wine tasting and cheese and how things are different in Europe and stuff like that compared to the United States. I thought, I'm spending money for you to learn how to drink
I'd
wine.
sign up for that class.
Yeah, but it was a wonderful experience. So she loved the Clermont-Ferrand.
Great.
Yeah, it's and they're very active in the exchange area too, so that's great. Okay, see you all. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Marlis. Everyone have a great week. We'll see some of you on Saturday for painting, and go out and open the opportunities.
Have a good week.
Bye-bye.
Hi, everyone.